New at 9, Austin's school board gets an earful about a plan that could raise your taxes. In November, voters in the Austin Independent School District might have to decide between a tax hike or schools making major cuts. Now, to find the money, the board says it needs for several necessary improvements, including a 3% raise for teachers. KXAN's Josh Hinkle is live at AISD headquarters. And Josh, you've been there to hear the public weigh in before the board makes its decision tonight.
Yes, Shannon, parents, teachers, and people with business interests made up the majority of the crowd tonight. Parents want what's best for their kids, teachers want what's best for their paychecks, and businesses want what won't make them pay more tax.
Over the last 2.5 most affluent neighborhoods,
their cases, the possible property tax election on the November ballot is making people choose sides. We're talking about a proposed 5-cent increase to property taxes. The money would be set aside for several already selected items. Those for the tax increase say they're not opposed to making cuts to only close the projected $20 million budget deficit AISD faces next year. But they don't want to, as one man said, cannibalize other parts of the budget that would hurt kids and programs and potentially lay off hundreds of employees. There were several taxpayers and business entities who stood up against that approach, saying there are places AISD can cut, it just needs to reevaluate its current finances. Or whether it's through a tax increase or adjusting the budget, the target areas for improvement are a 3% raise for teachers, replacement funding for pre-K programs because the state funding will wind down starting next year, and lastly, an investment in East Austin schools.
They haven't gone far enough into cutting current budgets that really allows them to come back and ask for higher tax increases.
Working a budget is like pruning a tree. If all you do is prune and prune and prune, and you never water and fertilize, the tree doesn't grow. In fact, it might die.
Now, the board is wrapping up tonight, and it will meet again next week to vote on this tax proposal. Superintendent will now take what she has learned from the public tonight to make her consideration and then give a recommendation to the board later this week. For now, we're live at AISD headquarters in downtown Austin. Josh Hinkle, KXAN, Austin News.